With meetings on the rise in our new virtual reality, we are on a journey to improve the effectiveness of our meetings. Meetings can be a great way to make decisions, align on direction, and make progress through action. But with things being busier than ever, our efforts can fall flat if we don't take the time to organize, manage, and clearly outline action items. It's an all too familiar problem. After an hour of discussion, the meeting ends, and everyone goes their separate ways. A week later, the promising ideas have sat untouched because no one was entirely sure what next steps needed to be taken or who was taking them. How can meeting leaders ensure decisions and actions actually happen? What might help keep the momentum going? Here are the 6 steps that help turn meetings into action. Step 1. Ask someone to scribe. Agreements, decisions, and actions are often created during the meeting, not at the end. So it's important for someone to document them in real time and ensure nothing gets missed. After all, if no one documents the next steps towards a goal, they will likely never happen. So ask someone to take notes and scribe agreements and next actions. And choose wisely, as not everyone is great at taking notes. Step number 2. Listen for keywords and statements during the meeting. Have you ever heard someone say something like, "I'm not sure everyone understands that process"? Or, "I don't know, let's take a look at that report later today." How about, "We should communicate this to the team"? Or something like, "We can discuss that during our team huddle." And finally, "We need to remember to review this next month." These statements are someone suggesting an action should be taken. And what often happens is people nod in agreement, but then nothing happens. The scribe or meeting leader needs to listen for these statements, then pause and say something like, "Okay, so it sounds like we need to do something here. What specific action should we take and who's going to take it?" Don't move on until you have a clear, specific next action. Step 3. Getting clear on specific next actions, or as we like to call them, SNAs. Action items should be clear and easily understood by everyone in the room. An action item often sounds like someone should figure out when the report is coming out. Specific next actions, or SNAs, have 4 key elements. There is a specific action to be taken. Someone is assigned or volunteers to take the action. There's a due date, and the definition of done is clear to everyone. Let's turn this action item into a specific next action. Jim is going to speak with Mary tomorrow to find out when the next report will be published. He'll email this group by 5 p.m. tomorrow with a confirmed timing. Everyone knows the what, the who, the when, and what done looks like for this SNA, including Jim. Turning action items into SNAs will set clear expectations for everyone and help ensure progress after the meeting ends. Step 4. Say SNAs out loud at the end of the meeting. If SNAs only exist in the scribe's notes, then it's impossible for anyone to act on them. Remember the example above where the meeting ends and everyone goes their separate ways? The last 5 minutes of every great meeting concludes with a review of decisions and agreed to SNAs. With 5 minutes left, the leader calls a timeout and cuts off the conversation and asks everyone to share their SNAs. The scribe can fill in any missing items. This helps ensure everyone takes notes, pays attention, and owns their specific next actions. Step 5. Send a summary email. It's easy for specific next actions to get lost after the meeting. Avoid this by listing SNAs at the top of your summary email or meeting minutes, so they stand out from everything else and are easy to find when it's time to go follow up with the owners. Finally, step 6, follow-up. Hoping or assuming people are tackling their SNAs often leads to disappointment and frustration. If Jim owes you an email by 5 p.m. confirming the timing of the next report, shoot him a direct message at 4 p.m., letting him know you're looking forward to hearing about his conversation with Mary and how it went. A gentle nudge goes a long way and will help Jim avoid being embarrassed for not completing his SNA at the next meeting. So let's summarize the 6 steps you can take to ensure meetings turn into action. Ensure you have a scribe at every meeting. Listen for keywords and statements that suggest there's an action to be taken. Begin to focus on specific next actions, SNAs, not action items. Spend the last 5 minutes summarizing SNAs. Share SNAs at the top of the minutes. And follow up to ensure SNAs are actually being taken care of. If you found this helpful, please feel free to share with others who might benefit as well. Thank you for listening, and keep an eye out for the next edition of the HOPP podcast. Bye for now.